The North Node has officially moved into the sign of Pisces. And with it, not just the North Node going into this position, but the South Node has also gone into Virgo. And I know this is titled the North Node in Pisces, and that is going to be the main thing about this, but there is going to be a very heavy emphasis today on this South Node in Virgo, right? As we see, and if you pay attention to anything, as the node shifted, so has our world. As the destiny of the collective has started to change, so has the way that people have been interacting with each other. So has there's just been a lot of changes in the last, like this month in 2025. There have been so many huge shifts that have occurred. And I want to really get into the lessons in terms of the North Node and the South Node and what I really think is coming up in terms of all this. So welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you all for being here, showing up. If you're here watching this later on, make sure that you leave a like and comment below. I'm also having the mini readings that are available. I'm doing them live, but if you catch me early enough and I still have it available, you can still purchase one as well. And I will be sending those to you directly via your inbox. If there's ever any question with those, feel free to reach out to me. I'm mad cool. I'll be living life, you know what I'm saying? Just let me know. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful, beautiful time. But just to kind of give you a little bit further context, I'm gonna hop over here. So let me see if y'all, y'all can still hear me. Never mind. Okay, so this is my website, which I will be updating soon when the world stops tripping out. But this is where we get the North Node and Pisces mini reading pool. So I'm going to be pulling for what does the North Node of Pisces mean for you. This one's priced a little bit differently because I'm going in on these because I really think this North Node in Pisces and the South Node of Virgo is really going to change a lot of things, right? So make sure if you want to go get a mini reading, this is where to do so. And I have the link above in the comments as well as on the other side of the description. And if you haven't checked it out yet, this is my newsletter, Under the Stars We Wander. And in terms of this, I also have the North Node in Pisces newsletter that I put out. So if you ever want to just get the information in, I usually drop this, you know what I'm saying? You could type in your email and subscribe. Boom, and you subscribe like that, you know what I'm saying? And then I usually just throw in this, you know what I'm saying? And then I typically will post whatever next live stream is there or whatever YouTube video pops up and, whatever ends up working your boat. But here's one thing I wanted to point out, right? I love your monthly newsletter. Thank you, Quintana. I appreciate it. It's nice to be able to still get all the info out, even if I'm not always talking or in front of people, you know what I'm saying? I am an introvert, low key, if no one's noticed. But the other side to this, and ignore whatever else is happening. But today, screw that guy. Anyway, this right here, today we have the planet parade that's happening, so they say, right? Which is a rare celestial event. They say that's also happening like visibly in India, but it's also happening in other places as well. To give y'all some context, astrologically, they are not aligned in that perfect way. But in our perspective, I don't get a lot into how planets move in space because we will be here for a very long time. But just to let you know, it'll look like it's kind of like in this parade like area, right? So is there something huge happening right now? I would say in the world for sure, right? But it's something to at least point out, because I know some of y'all are probably wondering, what is a planet parade? It's not an astrological thing particularly, but it is where we see the planets. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to kind of waste a little bit of time getting ready, talking to y'all real quick, but let's actually start to hop into this, right? Can you get a mini reading if you don't know your birth time? Yes, you can. Just give me how much info that you know. Because it's the North Node will still be in the same location. However, if you are somebody who doesn't know your birth time, if you ever get a reading with me, I do spend some time at the beginning for like on the house for free type deal, just to make sure that we can dial in your actual birth time, because I do know how to do that. So if that is the case, I do know how to chart rectify. So just also let me know that I'm going to be offering a lot more services because I've been talking to people and people, I've done like a lot of like specialty and customized readings, but I'm starting to realize, I'm like, oh, I think this would be really important for other people. Like not everyone knows that I like literally teach people astrology in like different courses depending. So we'll be able to get all into that information as we go on. But I'm going to start yapping too much if I don't start heading into this. So let me actually get into it and speak on this North Node in Pisces, right? You got the mini reading. Appreciate you, and you know the vibe. But yes, let me get my I'm perching my foot up for this one. We're getting comfy here. Let's talk about it. Let's break this down. So, before we get into anything else, I want to explain something. I think with the way that the North Node works in your chart, that has everything to do with your destiny. And when it's the South Node in your chart, it has a lot to do with your past life and the gifts that you come into. I am not of the ilk that people have to run away from their South Node. I'm of the ilk that people have to embrace their South Node in order to actually actively tap into their North Node. Both sides of this destiny polarity. If you are confused of what I'm saying at all, make sure you check out the North Node masterclass that I did where I explained the North Node completely in full. But I do want to say this. When the North Node shifts in the collective overall, we start to see the difference between the light that humanity is aiming for and the shadow that humanity is going through, right? So I want to highlight that because on the North Node end, while it's happening for the collective, we've just seen a North Node go through Aries. That's been happening the last 18 months, right? I can't speak to how everyone's North Node in Aries went, but I'll give you some context of my own just to show you how strongly these nodes work for us, right? The North Node was in the sign of Aries. And so in the last year and some change, people have been learning how to define themselves. How do they identify? How do they want to stand in their power? What do they want to stand up for, stick up for, etc., right? Now, the North Node in Aries, when that first happened, I want to give you context from my world, fellas. So I know a lot of y'all follow me and want to know the lore, so I'll explain more of it just to give you some context. But when the North Node went into Aries, it was the first time in my entire life that I went viral with something that had my face in it. That's really, really important to point out, right? Beforehand, I've been privy to the social media route for a while. And there was a time frame where there were filters, specifically on TikTok, from what I understand and from the research and people that I've talked to. So not saying this is like whatever, but TikTok and other places, they were suppressing faces that looked like mine. Best way to put it. And with that being said, I never was able to break through. I'm not saying that happened for everybody particularly, but there was a time where that did happen. Please let me know if y'all ended up seeing the same thing as that was occurring, right? So for me, I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay over on this Instagram wave. And I remember I went to a studio with a friend of mine. He's a producer. I was like, yo, I want to do I'm going to do some work in this other room for a second. Then we'll hop back and make some music. It was supposed to be a fun time. I was at the studio. I was setting things up. I'm a techie, so I know how shit's supposed to work. Nothing was working. I was mad. And I recorded the video just on my phone. And it came out in terrible quality. It was awful. It was ugly. It was, ugh. I hate it. Actually, I don't know if I can find it fast enough. If I could find it fast enough, I would have. But the purpose of why I'm saying this is that when the North Node literally shifted into Aries, and I was talking about the North Node shifting into Aries, and I was mad and upset and in my Aries energy about it, was the first time my face went viral in something and has led a lot of y'all to find me at the end of the day. Just that one thing at the start of that North Node in Aries has been able to kind of bring all that together, right? Now, on the South Node in that particular time, that was about Libra. Why was I so triggered when I just went viral? Why was I upset? Why? Oh, it didn't bring any quality. It was the worst looking video I've ever made. So aesthetically, South Node and Libra, I was like, no. We have to get better at this. We have to change this. We have to fix this thing. And so for me personally, and y'all have probably watched me do this. If you go back, a year and a half ago, my videos looked a lot different. You go back a little bit further than that, a lot different, right? But for me, I was like, let's bring in the aesthetic. Let's start working with people. Let's go live. It's all South Node in Libra. The North Node in Aries is like, hey, I'm defining myself. I'm showing up, right? It wasn't the fact that I sat here to define myself for y'all. Y'all got to like watch that happen. If you're just here for the first time, what's up? How's it going? That's the type of communication that the Aries energetic brings. Now, what's the shift that just happened? Well, most planets are always forward. Here's one thing most people don't get. The North Node is always, technically it's not always, but for the most part, the North Node is always going retrograde, right? Versus direct. So if you have like North Node retrograde in your chart, that's not a bad thing. Most North Nodes are going in that retrograde motion. That's just how that works, just to give you some context to that. Now, the North Node went back into Pisces. Aries is the start of the zodiac. Pisces is the end of the zodiac. So with the North Node shift, we just went to the beginning to the end, so to speak. And you want to know what happened in my eyes when I saw that happen? When the North Node went into 0 degrees Aries, LA caught on fire. I had to evacuate my house. 0 degrees, as soon as the fire point, right? And what's Aries? The fire. 0 degrees. As soon as it hit 0 degrees, all that happened. Right? I'm not trying to say this as like a me thing, but this is how these cycles work. So I want to show you this is how that goes. If you track it in your own life, you're going to see something too. That's why I want to bring this up. So now we're stepping into the North Node of Pisces, right? North Node of Pisces is about spirituality. The North Node of Pisces is about unconditional love. The North Node of Pisces is about the Lulu to a certain extent, right? Dreams, illusions, nightmares, and the awe-inspiring dream that where everything that you want comes true. That's all that Pisces energetic. Now, here's the other side of this, right? The South Node is in Virgo. I want to point something out about the South Node of Virgo, and I want to be like really, really straightforward with y'all. Because I'm pissed off. But I also want to be straightforward with y'all. There was a video I was about to make. And it was literally the day before they signed the order to get rid of the equal opportunity employment, right? When they signed off and they're just like, hey, we're no longer like, you can basically get discriminated towards if you have to go get a job, if you look a different way than the person that signed it. So with that being said, the day before that, I was about to post something and I didn't want to fearmonger people. And I'm kind of upset that I posted it the day after instead. Because one thing I was going to point out about the South Node in Virgo is that people are going to start bringing back old regime ideas. There's a lot of old history things, systems, BS that have happened and occurred over the course of history. And there's certain things that wants to come back in a certain way. And I'm telling y'all this because the systems that are going to be popping up are not meant to empower you coming up. I'm just trying to be honest. There's nothing that's trying to empower you. The way that the South Node of Virgo, I'm going to use the TikTok reference again for this just because it's something that we all saw happen. Did you sit there and watch people, and you might be one of those people, those 16 hours when it went down? Do you know how many people lost their absolute minds? I live in LA. I do like content stuff. So obviously I have a different rendition of like what this looks like as well. Maybe that didn't mean anything to you, right? But I'm giving you this context because like the South Node of Virgo just stripped away one of the biggest things that led to people's like liberation, right? Why do people love TikTok? Let's really talk about this. People love TikTok because when the world shut down in that 2020 timeframe, that was the one place people got to watch and explore and talk about their feelings and learn about new things and connect with people all around and meet people from different countries and areas and like really just like have a whole community and feeling like you belong to something. And although you were scrolling, there was art that would come from that. There were things you were interested in coming from that. Things were tailored to your interest and based off of like what it is that you most enjoyed. Of course, you're going to love that, right? People have made livings off of it. People have taken their dreams and be able to make it into a reality in places that they never were able to do so until the access to this type of thing. The North Node in Pisces has been really into the idea of like people's dreams can be imagined. Love is real. Like you can really like hit these next levels that you're aiming for. You can embrace the powers of your higher self, your higher calling, and like genuinely show up as that. You can do all of those things. But this is the kicker. This is the other side of it. The South Node in Virgo wants you to be so obsessed with the details you never move. This shadow of the South Node of Virgo, which is what I really want to point out. The shadow of the South Node of Virgo is like that parent that continuously puts you in BS just so they don't have to like take care of you. They're like, okay, you're just in everything. I don't have to take care of you. I don't even have to care. You're being taken care of. You're over in that other thing, right? The South Node of Virgo is one of those things where it's like, and I'm using the parent term because like what happened with the South Node of Virgo is that they literally took it away and gave it back. They literally grounded Gen Z. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like I'm early Gen Z, so like I'm legacy Gen Z. You know what I'm saying? I'm elder Gen Z. I'm the king of this. You feel me? But when it gets to like the people who are younger generations after me, that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up on YouTube. They grew up on TikTok. Oh, this is very different. You get what I'm saying? So in order for me to kind of like show you this, the South Node of Virgo said, okay, we'll take it away. And they did. And then they gave it back. And I don't know if you saw the thing that was a propaganda. Because if anything with the South Node of Virgo, you want to know what's coming back? Propaganda. You want to know what's going to start looking like? It's going to start looking like some 1984. You want to know how I know it's going to start looking like 1984 just a little bit? You can't get that book no more. You can't. I don't think you can get that book anymore at all. Just wanted to bring that up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at Europe. You'd be surprised. So it's a book, by the way. But the idea and the reason why I'm even bringing all this up, the South Node of Virgo literally like snatched it away, smacked everybody's hand, and was like, "You're screwed." And then they gave it back immediately. And I want to talk about the response of people that happened when that went on, because this is very North Node, South Node, Pisces. When everyone thought TikTok was going down, I'm not a TikTok influencer for real. If you get your bag off TikTok, more power to you. But I'm talking about the other people. You get what I'm saying? What the other people on TikTok, right? A lot of people before TikTok went down, they admitted crazy stuff. A lot of people were like, well, since this app is going down, let me tell you all the worst thing I've done, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, y'all were doing that? What? Right? But they revealed themselves. They showed themselves. And then when things started to happen and things got put back on, and it immediately, in less than a day's time frame, everyone had access to it again, so to speak. Everyone came back like nothing happened. Oh, hey guys, we're back. Oh wow, that's the thing. Like, didn't you just say that you were messing with people's money? Hey, ain't you just said that you was just screwing over so and so? Hey, didn't you just say? This type of back and forth between like the details and people, whatever, pay the fuck attention. That's really what I have to say. Because people are going to try to like talk you out your power. The thing with the North Node and Pisces is that people are at their most spiritual. People are at their most resonant. People are really finding their souls amongst all this BS. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the details that people try to tell about you, don't let where you come from, don't let what you look like there's a lot of things going on right now. Straight up. And I don't, again, you know, I'm not always in life here, man. There's a lot that's going on. And the reason why I'm so adamant about like really like bringing up this like North Node Pisces for real is that like the difference between you still being able to explore your greatness and finding yourself and getting into your magic, and the difference between letting the world win in terms of the pressure that it's trying to put is, do you believe the details that people are trying to force upon you? Or are you trusting in the spirit that God gave you, that God has showed you, that the world may not understand, but you feel intrinsically? Life is but a dream, but some people are trying to rewire what the fuck that looks like. I don't care if you two get mad at me for this one. I do not care. Like, this is where we at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. The reason why this is so important into like how you're moving forward is your spiritual hygiene, so to speak, is going to become a lot greater. You need to start living like your rising sign. You need to honor your moon sign. And you damn sure need to show up as your sun sign when that pops up. I said something a year and some change ago when Pluto and Aquarius first went through. And I was telling people at the time, I'm like, you need to know your astrology. You need to know that core tenet. You need to know who you are and where you're coming from and why you're set up this way. Because during this South Node in Virgo, everyone's going to try to talk you out of who you are, hop into their own dreams of something. One thing I notice, right? Just to be transparent, all the people that we've been seeing on the screen and television and the new order that they're trying to bring in, right? Or have, and to a certain extent, to be so fair. Every single person involved we have seen before. We've watched many millions of memes about them. We've seen so much information about them. We know what they eat for dinner on an airplane. Like, we know too much about some of these people. And although they may not be the kindest people in the world, they're known. Everyone knows who they are. You want to know why? It's our fault. We put them on as memes. The internet talked about it too much. We all spoke towards these people for so long that they took that power. And now they have the power of the people in a very different way. And maybe you're not those people. And this is why on the other side of this, your spiritual strength is going to be so important. Your ability to decipher between the lines of like, oh, this person is trying to tell me this because they care. And the lines between this person is telling me this so they can get something out of me, they're going to be a little bit more blurred as we get forward. Don't let the power play F you up. It's the best way to put it. And again, this is not to fear, but I will not lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna sit here and lie. That's just me though. And I just like, I want to put that out there because like, you need to be able to like honor that inside part of things, right? There's a practice that I just saw recently. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it up on here. I can't show you the full thing, I don't think. But there's a video I saw the other day. There we go. I'm going to, why? No, not the commercial. Not the commercial. But basically, I would look this up, right? There's I just personally, right? A lot of my spirituality and stuff, like I would not be here doing this if it wasn't for hip hop. And that's a fact. And the reason why I'm saying it that way is because when I was first making music, my favorite people who were like really like explaining stuff, they always had really cool spiritual references. This is important. They had really cool spiritual references, right? Like the stuff that I would listen to. They would just like even like early Kendrick, he would bring up certain things. I'm like, word, Absol is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Like there's like hip hop is what has kept me moving as a motion throughout my youth and into now. That's just like a personal note, right? It's important. It's part of my culture. That's Black history to me, being made and being shown and being kept for the future. Because you know damn sure they ain't trying to sign off on keeping no Black history moving forward. But we gonna make it every fucking day because we're here. And this is the other side of this, right? My fault. I'm actually really mad. The other side of this, right? To get into this a little bit further. I'm going to just like show you what the video looks like. I don't know what the terms of everything else is, but basically this was the idea. It was like the 5,000-year-old method of find your soul. And I thought this was really, 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 really powerful, right? And I almost want to take this a step further. If you have the time to see this, right? It's 7 minutes. He has an interesting point, and I would watch it. This is a grand master of magic and time, and shout out to KRS-One for being one of the dopest to ever do it, right? But the reason why I want to point this out is because he, in this method, he tells everybody, he's like, yo, say the word hip hop, but don't say it out loud. Say it within you. And the concept was, that's how you find where your resonance is. And in my personal mind and thought, I was like, that's how people can find their rising sign. How does that feel when you do that? That's your rising sign. That process of you about to say it and not saying that, that's your Mercury. There's stuff like that. Thank you for the Saturn reading, of course, yo. Appreciate you for pulling through for those. I really do like to put the mini readings on just for people who want to get a little bit more insight. I try to keep them relatively cheap in comparison to other things, just to make sure people can afford them. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I was like, when y'all give me a mini reading, that's food for me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. Like, thank y'all for that, for real. You know, a lot of the other stuff I do to invest back into this, to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't spend stuff willy-nilly, honestly. I'm very much like, we're reinvesting into this, and I've done this over the last, I don't know, you know, this is my 6th year of YouTube, really, which is really cool and weird to think about. So thank y'all for really being here. It's been a dope ass time thus far, you know. And the 6 times more of that, you feel me? So the other parts of this that I do want to mention, though, that's why the KRS-One video, that was so important, because in my head, I'm like, that's how you work the South Node in Virgo. Because you want to know what bro did? Brought up some ancient stuff, made it now, adapted it to where the soul and the world's at today, and kept it pushing forward. You want to know what they're doing on the other side of that? They're taking some old things that they've seen before, historically. They're trying to remix them into now, and then tell you they're not doing the things that they're showing you. This is where the truth of Pisces will show you whether you're going about your dreams or if you're living that BS. And that's why I want to be just really straightforward about this. So y'all, if y'all are hearing this, I'm not telling everybody y'all got to be an astrologer. That's not necessarily like, that's not everyone's path. I'm not going to be like, everyone has to be an astrologer. That's ridiculous. You should know your big 3 though. That's a fact. If you don't know your big 3, North Node and Saturn, you're fucked. I can't monetize. It's my fault. I've been going off today. It's been a lot. But the idea of this all, right? It's like the whole process of in the motif, I would even say, of becoming and finding and stepping into the power of your higher self, is to know that like you're a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But the South Node of Virgo is going to tell you, nah. There's another thing I heard the other day, right? What's homie's name? I think it's Marcus Aubrey or Audrey. He's a dude on Instagram. I know him somewhat through Deborah, but that's why I was like, Marcus, he was explaining, I'm paraphrasing, I apologize. Because it just obviously popped up to me as you saw by my face. But he was explaining that like there was aromatic. I think there was this basically there was this deity, so to speak, that would try to put a price. There we go. Oh, I got it. I'm locked in. North Node and Pisces. North Node and Pisces is like love. Love has no price. Love has no price. Love has no price. Right? That connection to the grand scale of love has no price. The connection to your creativity, that feeling you get when you're like making something you love or doing something you love, has no price. The connection that you really get to someone that you just resonate to and you're just like, they get me, has no price. But there's this background where there was this deity that's it's like Aramaic something system that was happening. I'm butchering this part. I apologize, but I believe his name is Marcus Audrey. So if you want to check that out, it's on his Instagram if I'm not mistaken. But he was saying that the South Node of Virgo side of this, right? This deity would try to make people put a price on things that were like God given and priceless. And I want to point this out. So then you'd be like, oh my God, he'd be like, or the deity would be like, what's the most important thing? You get what I'm saying? And then it would be like, oh, like love's the most important thing. And then the other question would be like, well, how much does that cost you? How much does it cost to pay off the love? And that's it. You get what I'm saying? And I want to point this out because this really reminded me of the South Node of Virgo and the North Node of Pisces. You know what I'm saying? Is that like people are going to start trying to define your divinity and try to like be like, what's the price of your divinity? What's the price of your personal power? Can you be bought by that? Or are you going to stick to your heart and your soul and what you know and what you feel is right and what you are interpreting as being correct, as you're following the deepest parts of your emotional world and knowing your path because you weren't dumb enough to hear somebody try to tell you who you are when you know your chart, when you've lived your chart, when you stepped into your power. That's the kind of thing that's going on. So again, I'm not going to be here to like fearmonger, but that South Node in Virgo, when you start to hyper criticize or overanalyze or overthink, part of that's a part of a process. I'm never going to tell people like, you can't do that because like realistically, life be life, dog. You know what I'm saying? But the other side of this is that the power has always been yours. So don't let anybody write it off like it's something else. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm trying to say. I lost the main point of that, but I think I've gotten that across thus far. Does anyone have any questions so far? My fault. I've been going in. I haven't even checked in with y'all for real. My bad, y'all. Let me see. One sec. Let's tap in. What's good, Ann? What's up, Quintana? Eva, what's good? Whole vibe. Hey. You got it. What's good, fam? Appreciate you. Let's see what else. We got Deed in here. What's up, Dion? All right. Long T. Finally made a live. I actually put this earlier. Let me know in the comments or over here if me going live at this time is better. I just work better during like an earlier time frame because that's how I operate. And I do want to make sure I give y'all my most fresh and best, so to speak. And we have a lot of international watchers. So I know there's like a lot of people that are here from the UK, some people here from Germany. There's some people here from all parts of the world, truly. India, we have people here from Canada. We have people here from Italy, France. Like we have an international audience, you know what I'm saying? Under the Stars We Wander is a international enterprise of making people find their truth no matter where they are in the world. Because at the end of the day, we're all under the stars we wander. Because that's how it works. Speaking of, tonight we have that planetary alignment. We're all going to be walking under that, are we not? Same. My Saturn reading was on point. Thanks. I'll be back for the full works. Need to hear the magic behind it. Oh, yo, your stellium was wild. We'll get into that. My fault. I don't want to get too sidetracked. Okay. Great time. I appreciate you. Whatever works for most people is good. Shout out Aaron for Aaron to be here regardless. Shout out to you, man. I press it every day. I'm like, what's up? It's a beautiful time. Shout out to you for real. Much love. So yeah, excuse me. Apologies. Air in Los Angeles is a thing. It's a concept. Let's start to get into this though. So what's really good? I feel like I should have graphics. I don't have no graphics right now. I'm gonna pull up some shit. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pull stuff up. We're gonna do it live. We're just gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? North Node, South Node, cool. Actually, yeah, we're just gonna go through the whole thing, right? Oh, you're retired, you have time. Look, it's still love regardless. I appreciate you. Okay, so getting into this. What is astrology? As we can see from the AI overview, because we're in Pluto and Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius. How we have AI and everything and we not in the age of Aquarius? Please explain to me, you age of Pisces freaking apologizer. Y'all tell me. Y'all let me know. Oh, you're gonna type it out on your keyboard that we're not in the age of Aquarius? You're gonna send it up? Don't start this with me. That'll be pissing me off. Okay. But in astrology, the North Node is a mathematical point in a birth chart that represents a direction a person is growing toward. It's a symbol of a person's soul mission and the energy they need to fulfill it, right? So let's talk about it just in Pisces to give you just at least this actual definition. This is what's going toward. As they also said, it's a mathematical point, but sometimes it's in the mathematical points and the hypothetical points that like really lead you to like the target bullseye of what you want to know, just to give y'all some context, right? I almost clicked on the wrong thing. I'm so silly. I clicked the wrong thing again. Okay. So the South Node. The South Node is the opposite of the North Node, but they did not grace us with a picture this time. What happened over here? Anyway, in astrology, the South Node is a point in the chart that represents past lives, baggage, and lessons carried into the present life. I think this is half true because the other side that I would like to add is that whatever you were doing in the past life, what's up? The GOAT is here. The GOAT is here. What's up? It's the GOAT. Shout out to B Hill. B Hill, the Aquarius overlord himself has graced us with his presence. But regardless, the other part to this, the South Node, right? This is the part where it's like, it's not just the lessons and the baggage and stuff like that. It's also like what you just developed in your past life that you did so well, you carry on to this life that it's instincts for you. So if you look at your South Node, where it's like, oh, what was I naturally good at when I was younger? What was I really good at tapping into? That's going to give you a very different perspective, just to let y'all know. I might do a South Node masterclass because it really is that important. I used to do past life readings for people, but then that got interesting. That was when I first started. They were accurate, but it was a lot for me at the time. I could probably do it now and be fine, but I digress. What I will say though, and actually, I think this is a good time to start to segue over into the cards and into everything else. So if anybody does want to get a mini reading with me in this process, right? If y'all want to buy me food, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, thanks. At a certain point, if people do that, I'll just be like at the mini, like whoever gets a mini reading, I'm just gonna like send you like just a picture of me getting food, like thanks, or something stupid like that. Regardless, if you want to get a mini reading, make sure that you sign up for this pretty much now, or like as I start pulling for everything. It's better to do it earlier, so when I'm in motion and then I know like who's pulling up and I'm reading for right now. If you, however, cannot buy it right now and it is still up and available on my website, I will be sending it to you. Just make sure you read the conditions, because I think it's like a 3 to 5 business day kind of thing, because I do also work full time and I do this. It's all astrology based, but hey, we ball. Just wanted to let y'all know. Okay. Without further ado, you know what I'm saying? I find it funny. This is me, my card, King of Wands, respectfully. Ask your girl. Let me stop. That's because, see, B, you got in here, I start acting up, bro. I was doing... B popped up, I started acting up. I said, bro, know me too long. All right, let's actually get into it, though. So we're going to be getting into this North Node of Pisces. I want to pull something for the collective, right? What's going on for the collective for this North Node of Pisces? This is the 18th month cycle. Just to let y'all know, this is not some quick shit. It's gonna be a minute. So how do we step into this as a collective? What do we need to know? First and foremost, amazing. So we have the Ace of Swords, right? The Ace of Swords being in this position is really trying to show, yo, if you follow the spiritual part of all the stuff I was saying before, literally you have the ability to cut through all of the BS. Here's the kicker though. On the side of the BS, just to give y'all some context, sometimes on the other side of the BS, there's going to be people who are super welcoming. Maybe if you're not following your dream properly, and there's a bunch of people being like, oh, it's okay that you can't really follow that dream that you're aiming for. You should just come along with us. We should all just hang out. You should just come kick it with us instead. Don't do that. Do not lose your power in this. That's why I wanted to point this out. Because when you follow that North Node of Pisces and you tap into that source of the higher self, when you tap into that emotional world, that's when that goes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Quintana, you are good. What do you mean? Doing dishes, getting ready for a birthday party? I fully expect everyone to watch my live streams to be doing something entirely different. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when I was really doing music for real, which I'm slowly bringing back low-key. But like, it's like people have watched my work and have done all types of stuff to all my music and stuff like that. I don't expect anybody to just sit here and watch my live streams. This is the point. This is the anti-podcast podcast. Live your life. You don't have to stare at my face for 2 hours straight. Although if you want to, I have no qualms either. But genuinely speaking, there's never a problem. Appreciate you. Okay, let's actually happen again. All right, North Node. Pisces. I know it's about to get mad serious, so I'm trying to like get the goofball part out. All right. Okay, let's do it. So, what do we need to know about the South Node? What do we need to know? Oh, we got stuff hopping out. Someone else getting ready for work, see? That's what I'm saying. So the South Node. What do we need to know about South Node? I pulled the 10 of Pentacles as well as the Chariot card, right? So here's the other side to the South Node. Some people have to like really make the change, right? Over in terms of like letting themselves know their details. So I know I said the other way for a really long time. So I understand there's a little confusion. Some of y'all have been way too delulu for way too long. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all have been like, I am going to just do the things. I think what the Chariot card is trying to show you is that for those who are a little bit more like in the realm of like, oh, I just want to believe it happens and I don't got to do the work for it. The Chariot card is trying to show you the reason why the South Node of Virgo wants to go in or work the way it does, where it shows you the details, is so you actually know how to move towards them. Because for the people who are like very like emotive and just like, I feel like I got to make this change, the South Node is going to like help you gear that in as well. So just like, you know, don't discipline, which is a word that sucks, but discipline may just be your friend in your own world, but you have to discipline yourself or else someone or something will try to discipline you for you. That's the unfortunate side effect to both of these things. So I wanted to give y'all both all the context. But if y'all are watching, if y'all have been tapped into your energy, if y'all have been growing and consistently, I'm not worried for y'all, but watch out for those around you who don't get it this way. You can't change everything. You can't fix them, but just watch it. Just to give y'all some context, you know? Shoot, send them this video if they're tripping. Who knows? But yeah. Just got Coco at the Cabo Bar ready to lock in. Say less, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, yo mama. That's not me, you know, you get the point. That's their name on the thing. Okay. Just want the tamale guy to roll through. Man, if y'all start making me hungry right now, I'm finna be tight. I'm gonna eat after this. We gonna figure something out. Matter of fact, y'all got so many readings. I'm eating tonight. We gonna be good. Anyway, appreciate y'all. All right. Okay. Let's get into the signs, right? So I'm gonna start off with water. We're gonna do water, then I'm gonna go to earth. All right, we have water. Something flew out for y'all. Water, y'all got the Ace of Wands, believe it or not, right? Water signs, I think y'all have to, this is gonna sound weird, but the water signs, y'all gonna have to get a little bit out your feelings. I'm gonna just be honest with you. North Node of Pisces, y'all gotta get out your feelings and you gotta get into your magic. That's for all water signs. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel things, and part of your magic is through feeling things, but I'm saying that bag you're in, that despair in your gully, as the great Behold would say. No, I'm talking crap. But the idea though, right? Like that's the way that ends up going, right? Discipline simply means to be a disciple of life force. Francesca, you genius, you. I love that. I adore that explanation. Disciple of life force, even just disciple of life. Ooh, that's fire. I will quote you on that for sure. I'll be like, that's fire. I love that quote. That's great. That's amazing. Shout out to that. Can I heart that here? I don't know. If I can, I will. Can I do it? No, I can't. That's okay. Anyway, I appreciate it. All right. We're gonna start off with water though. Let's get into Pisces. Pisces, y'all going first. North Node is in your sign. Let's see what's going on with y'all. All right, so Pisces. Pisces, y'all indecisive. Y'all are so indecisive right now, Pisces. Pisces, the indecision. Here's what I have to tell y'all, Pisces. There's so much magic about because of this North Node in Pisces, right? There is so much magic about. Y'all do not have the same level of control. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. Y'all are kind of like in the stream. Usually, I feel like Pisces are able to like hop in the stream, hop out the stream, call it a day. No, Pisces, y'all are like y'all are in the river of all the stuff, right? But here's the kicker. The thing with y'all Pisces is that the magic is already happening, so you don't necessarily have to decide on how the magic goes. But here's what was the bottom card, which I highly recommend. Pisces, y'all gotta become those disciples of life force. Y'all gotta become those disciples of life, because that's what's really pulling through right now. Y'all have to like understand how to ground yourself. Pisces, actually, for this North Node of Pisces, this might all show up more as advice than a prediction, just to give you all some context, because like this is such a long transit that it's like, this is the advice that I have. So Pisces, y'all need to ground yourself. Intuitively, that's what I'm getting. So I want to let y'all know. Pisces, y'all got to ground yourself, because the magic will be happening around you and amongst you, but you may not be able to have the same level of control on it unless you are disciplined in your stuff, right? It's like a wizard has to go to wizard training before they're a wizard. You just started making stuff up with your hands. You got to go back and learn how to use a wand. Go back to Hogwarts, figure it out. No, but genuinely speaking, that's going to be giving a much greater precedence to things moving forward. So I hope that gives y'all a little bit of perspective, Pisces. What advice do I have for Scorpio? I'm going to go backwards. So it's going to be for Scorpio, North Node of Pisces. Scorpio, North Node of Pisces. Scorpio, y'all also got some work to do. Scorpio, I think this is, and here's where the work is happening for you, Scorpio. Scorpio, the work is happening, but this is a nostalgia trip, right? So for Scorpio, you need to heal them childhood wounds. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like I hate to just break that down like that, but like Scorpio, there's so much stuff in your psyche that I think is like trying to integrate where it needs to and release where it's not supposed to be. And the reason why I'm kind of like breaking this down this way, so if you have Scorpio, all this is for Sun, Moon, and Rising, or whatever parts of your chart that resonate, right? But there really is this feeling, I would say, Scorpio, of you like learning how to readjust to some of those older aspects of things. Maybe you're integrating things more, but there's something that I wanted to like at least point out to y'all in that prospect, that like you have to really kind of dig into the nostalgia in order for you to find what you want to do and move forward with in that process. So the North Node of Pisces, like, use what's old to create the new, and that's what's going to change a lot in your world. For Cancer, the Scorpio thing also goes for people that have Pluto and Scorpio, especially. Just as a sidebar that just came to me a second ago. But Cancer, this is for y'all. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see what we got. Cancer, we have the Moon card. I technically pulled it in reverse. I typically don't pull reverse, but that was an interesting vibe, so I'll use it in both ways, right? But the Moon card that comes through, and I think the reason why I popped up this way is because like y'all don't see how intuitive the Moon in Pisces is going to make y'all, right? To give you some concept. Like, the other part to this is that despite the Moon, I would say, being at such a height here, Cancer, y'all have to like learn, I don't want to say learn how to celebrate, because that's incorrect. But if you keep the energy that life is good and things are going to be all right, your intuitive world brings that forward. You know what I'm saying? So in certain cases, let's say your tribe or your home, the North Node glyph looks like headphones. Because they do. It's also an upside down horseshoe. Either way. But they do look like headphones for real. I agree. But Cancer, back again. I'll be getting distracted. I'll be on, but I'll be getting distracted. So I'll try to lock in. Moon, you're getting into this position of like really just knowing your energy, when to use it, how to use it, but keeping up the like, life is going to be okay despite anything else is going to bring so much morale to like the people around you. So please, you are partially our beacons of hope. So thank y'all for the work you're doing there. Okay. So that's water signs. Appreciate you. What's the one card that I have to pull for all the air signs super quick? Or earth signs. Correction. Earth signs. Y'all got work to do. South Node and Virgo not finna let y'all chill out like that. All right, let's break this down. Let's start off with Virgo, actually. So this is going to be the card for Virgo, right? Okay. Card for Virgo. Blah. Oh, Virgo, y'all gonna work. Y'all finna work. And if y'all haven't been working for real, you gonna be working. If you think you've been working hard, no, you haven't. Respectfully. Only reason why I'm saying it this way is because, like, the magic that every Virgo is looking for, the magical every like underneath all the work is where your magic is at, Virgo. And it sucks because y'all are Mercurial. Because like y'all are Mercurial. Mercurial is, you know, Mercury's the magician. That's I just say the words and things happen. But like Virgo right now, y'all are going through this, like, you gotta hustle out the details again. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go back to the basics. And I think with Virgo, the main thing about going back to the basics is it's within those basics though that you refine those magic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to go back to like square one, but that square one is where the magic actually goes through. So if you're ever stuck throughout this trans, another thing hopped out for y'all. I then dropped said headphones on the floor moments ago. Anyway, this just fell on the floor for y'all, Virgo, though. The Ace of Cups. If y'all follow the new rules that are coming through for your heart, you're going to be reaching a huge emotional expansion. And I think that's the payoff for the North Node of Pisces. So I just want to give y'all some examples. Y'all got work to do, Virgo, but y'all are used to that. But it's going to be a little different because it's going to lead you back to your soul and not whatever someone else's reality is saying. All right. What's the next earth sign? Since we're going a little out of order, we're just going by element, you know. Capricorn. I'm gonna do Capricorn. All right, this is gonna be for Capricorn, right? Capricorn, y'all finna get laid. No, let me stop. But honestly, actually, no, that's accurate. I'll take that back. That is accurate because we have the Queen of Pentacles underneath here, right? So for people who are looking for like a long-term commitment or engagement, and you have a Capricorn placement, it's your time to start figuring out who you want to build a legacy with. All these Capricorn placements, like who you really building with. Are y'all truly linking and building? Are y'all building and linking? Are y'all like making the most of this stuff like really happen, so to speak? That's really what I'm getting from like that other part. I think Capricorns, while this is all happening, your energy is going to be softening up a little bit because although y'all are the sea goat, technically the sea goat has a fin. And technically that fin is in the water. It's a mythical creature, whatever. But the fin is in the water, and then the other part of the goat is what's climbing up the mountain. And with this North Node of Pisces, Capricorn, you need to let your sensitivities lead you forward. Y'all sensitive. Like Capricorn is the original emo person. Like it's just what that is, right? Let yourself feel your feelings, and it's not to disturb, it's to actually push forward new paradigm. So that's cool for y'all. Shout out to y'all. All right. Taurus. Why y'all so stubborn and fine? I don't know why you take up time. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. Okay. No, but we had the Ace of Swords. I wasn't supposed to be Gambit for Halloween, but the costumes were too expensive. That's another story for another time. But I can't say. That's what those mini readings are for, or help me get a costume. No, appreciate y'all for pulling up for real. Okay. So this is for Taurus, right? So for Taurus, we have on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords, right? But we also have on the front of the deck, right, the Ace of Swords. Here's something I got to point out. Taurus, I know y'all are the quintessential kings and queens of minding your business. At your best, y'all are really good at minding your business. Y'all still be nosy, but y'all be minding your business. Like you're not going to interfere with the vibe. You might know the vibe, but you're not going to interfere, right? That's finna change. I ain't gonna lie. Taurus, y'all finna be yapping But the yapping is like imagine all the things that you saw like not go right in the last few years, and now you're ready to just talk about it, right? Taurus, y'all specifically pissed off there in the South Node in Virgo because the things that used to give you your creature comforts are dissolving. So y'all low key finna be angry. The reason why I'm saying angry and stuff, and of course it's cutesy, but genuinely speaking, like this is where like your mindset for like what you have to do going for. I'm playing around with the thing on my head. Don't ignore that. But basically, like the idea is just the neurodivergence, baby. What you mean? Nah, but the idea of everything, right, is like the cause of the Ace of Swords being here is like, yo, this is where you actually start to like speak into your power. You know what I'm saying? This is where you actually start to like say the things that you say, and without saying the things that you say, Taurus, you might be screwed up. It might screw you over. So you have to be straight up, Taurus, as much as you can throughout this next year and a half, because that'll be like what actually like sticks and stays and leads you into more prosperity. Your creature comforts are not going to be the same. Just letting you know, creature comforts will change. So as they change, this is how you adapt with it. Speak your truth. Okay, cool. So I have talked about the water signs, and I've talked about the earth signs thus far. I'm gonna take the quickest break because I've been trying my best to do that in my live streams now instead of just like pumbling forward through the whole entire thing. But I will say, for those of y'all who are still looking for that mini reading, look, man, this is a good breakdown for all this. You want to know what's happening for the next 18 months of your life in this energetic, specifically to you because everyone's different. This is what that's for. A side note, I don't think a lot of people know. For like, I don't talk about it often, but I definitely use the Placidus system in the tropical astrology because it gives me more details into stuff that I think gets skimmed over in other sign systems. So just want to give y'all some context too. So when I do actually, even when I give interpretations, I'm keeping in mind every aspect as I'm saying that because I've been doing this for a hot minute, but appreciate y'all for their patience. I'm about to go get some water and exist and breathe for a second, and then I'll be back. Here's a song though. Have fun. Okay, bye. I have returned, allegedly. Okay, no plan. I'm back though. So now we're gonna finish up the rest of the signs. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for the patience in between that as well. And I'll be getting into the mini readings right after this. But this is gonna be, let me see. All right. So here's what I got though. We're going to go to fire signs. We're going to start with fire. We're going to keep it from there. So starting off with fire signs. The biggest thing about the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, y'all really have to learn the difference between what you give and what you take, and not to be giving too much of your magic for no reason. That's a huge theme that's coming up for all the fire signs, right? So let's start off with Aries. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's see what's popping up and what's happening here. Aries, y'all have the Ace of Wands. You just took the magic wand from Hogwarts. Whoever was at Hogwarts before, you just hopped in and said, this glass container doesn't seem that serious. And they're like, you can only open this glass jar with your magic, Aries. If you only had a wand to do so, then you just punch it through and take it out. And now you have the master wand. Congratulations. Now, what does that mean for y'all, Aries? Aries, I have to give y'all this context. Anything that y'all put into fruition, anything that y'all really like take the time to like make or grow or whatever else is going to like lead you into so much power. There's a lot of aces because we're at the literal north node of like all the universe, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? With Pisces, because Pisces represents so much, right? But Aries, y'all are really about to have a lot of like firepower, for lack of better terms, in terms of like how all of those things go. So like, congrats. It's going to be a good time for y'all. Shout out to the North Node in Aries for doing this work, you know? All right. This is going to be for Leo. Leo. Okay. It's the only card I got thus far where I'm like, Leo, I got the Five of Pentacles for y'all. And the reason why I think I got the Five of Pentacles is because like this nodal shift, and because of what I honestly think the South Node of Virgo is kind of trying to do, it's making you think about more of the hardship of things than your actual strength. Because the thing that I'm getting here, Leo, at the bottom of the deck is the Emperor card. And I have this weird feeling, Leo, that like y'all have established, you're like, I know exactly who I am. And as you say that, you're like, but maybe that's not who I am, you know? Like Leo, do not talk yourself out of your power. This is why I was talking about this earlier. Do not talk yourself out of your power, Leo. Like one of the things that I think is really coming through from this is like, oh, guess what? You don't talk. I was like, what happens if they don't talk themselves out of their power? Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a strength card. Oh, you mean the Leo card? You mean if Leo doesn't talk themselves out of their power, they'll be the premier top tier rendition of what the Leo energetic is supposed to look like? But I digress. That's what I have for y'all, Leo. Don't let yourself talk yourself out your power. And the bonus card is a High Priestess because it just fell. And the bonus card being the High Priestess, this is like your reason why you're not being a star is because the sun needs a more spiritual route to go. It used to be in oracles and shit. Now it's going to be in y'all. So figure it out. Okay. What's love? Okay. Now this is for Sagittarius. Let's see what's pulling up for Sag. And what's happening here. Sagittarius, we have the Justice card, and we also have the Lovers card, right? So in terms of everything happening for Sag, I think people are kind of asking about your philosophy when it comes to things that are a little bit more difficult. The Justice card on top of that is really kind of speaking to like doing your best to stay on the side of like what you really feel is true and being as good as you can be to other people. If people start trying to step to you crazy, justice gets served. If you start trying to step to people unjustified wise and just tripping out on them, justice will be served. So there's a balancing act in terms of just making sure that you're in the right energetic and you're living out your truth the best way you can without interfering onto anything in a negative way, right? Now, the other side on the bottom of this deck, Sagittarius, we got the Lovers card. Y'all getting laid or getting paid, but you don't know what about it. Now, but for real, the main portion of the Lovers card too at the bottom of the deck is that like you know your stock going up, Sag. You know what I'm saying? People in the North Node is like, we just need to look at somebody who's followed their dreams before and get it. So like that's the other side of it, right? The Lovers card really does speak to y'all getting into a different basis on the how am I gonna put this? It's giving giving, they gonna fall in love. So do your best to be as just about things as possible, right? Do not get into some escapades where you're not being honest with people. You know, I think there's a lot of love and like good connections and opportunities, but the justice card portion is like so let's say you are trying to be outside. Let's say you're trying to run around and rock with whomever you want. Are you being honest with all those whomever you want? So if not, that's going to get served. That's kind of the kind of thing that's going on. So just want to give you that context, Sag, in terms of that. It doesn't seem like it's a bad thing at all, but just stick to the truth of your heart for real, or else, you know, all the stuff I was saying prior. Cool. So that's going to be fire. Air. I was breathing for that one, you know. Air. Let's see what we got. Air in general, there's two things that popped up, just to give y'all some context. For the overall vibe, I got the 5 of Pentacles and also the 8 of Wands. And on the bottom, I'm going to be real with y'all, Air. We have the Tower card. As Pluto's going in Aquarius and all this stuff is happening, y'all are really being set to change the way of how y'all like communicated and gone about things for a while. And it's going to happen like kind of instantaneously. But let's see and digging deeper as to like what I'm gathering from that, right? All right, this is for Gemini, right? Gemini, we have the 10 of Cups. Congratulations, Gemini. If you was waiting for that time frame where you got like the wife and the kids and the whole nine, or the husband and the kids, or the wife and the kids, or the husband and the kids, you get the point. Or whatever the case, I don't matter. You get the idea. I'm tired, dog. What I can say though is that like here's the kicker. Let's say as a Gemini, let's say you get everything you want, right? Are you giving enough to those people you're supposed to be caring for? So like, yes, it's great to be celebrating with all those people, but are you contributing enough? I would say, right? Or are you contributing too much to that to where you don't get your own sense of peace? Are you contributing too much to where it's harder for you to like do that? That's really that type of energetic that kind of comes in with that, right? So for Gemini, it's really best for you to like stick to what you know that you know, and to not let your pride get in the way of the things that have to show up in front of you as well. That's really what I'm like kind of getting after that. Hope that resonates. I don't know how else to put that, to be honest. I'm just gonna let it rock, but that's what I got for y'all. Libra, let's see what we got. Okay. So Libra, there's something I feel like is coming up for y'all with this North Node of Pisces. Because I have the 3 of Swords as well as the 4 of Cups. And what I'm kind of getting from that is that it's like, I think Libra, there was like a specific dream, or like I need to have everything a certain way. Like there's something that's coming that's changing, or better yet, I don't even think it's coming and changing. I think that you're feeling the feelings and something is slowly coming your way. I think what's really happening for Libra is that like in embracing the previous heartbreaks, or maybe in embracing the actual energetic of like where the world's at, right? Because the world isn't on some like patty cake, everyone's having a good time type energy. Like, you know, there's a lot of inequality that's going on, or there is equality, but only for the right people. And I think that's a really like against Libra's nature. You know what I'm saying? And so like there's this like pain point that kind of comes up there where it's like people aren't being right in relationships, people aren't being right to each other. What's going on? And what I really think is happening, Libra, is that there's this perfect situation that's like coming through, and it's already on its way. Like it's not that you have to change anything, Libra, for real. But there's this like there is a lot of old, like there's a lot of old residue that's kind of coming up though, Libra. I think in terms of like the way that this has all been shifting and changing, it's like, oh, like I see the future is clear, but also I have to address this pain point first. And then at the end of that, afterward, we have the King of Wands. And that's either somebody coming in to like help you like get onto your feet with it, or help you actualize it. I actually think really like there's going to be a King of Wands figure that's helping you actualize your dreams, versus like stepping away from the fears of like the old and the past and the heartbreaks and etc. So that's something to keep in mind. Keep an open mind to that. Hopefully that shows up in a way that makes sense. But don't let your heartbreak be a deterrent as much as a motivator into how to bring in better balance for the future. Aquarius is Aquarius, hey, Aquarius, hey. Okay. The Lovers card. Y'all are getting laid too. Everyone's getting laid, or at least three signs are. You know, so good for that. You know, but what I can say, realistically though, we have the Lovers card, but we also have the Six of Cups. So it's like using older nostalgic things that you've enjoyed or done or etc. As you bring back like certain hobbies even or things that you enjoy, your stock is going up. People are all going to try to come through and shoot their shot. And says, I hope not. I can't promise that because when I get the Lovers card like that, I'm like, oh, people are going to start being like, hey, now to not show up in a romantic sense, at least. Oh, I hope so. Never mind. I said I hope not. I'm sorry. It's been a day, as we can tell. It's been a month. It's been a year thus far. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot. Anyway, but what I can say though, with the terms of the Lovers card, the Lovers card there is like really trying to like again bring up your stock, have people come through and want to like be around you and hang out and just like be in your space, and that's like. I think usually Aquarius tries to play standoffish, but I think Aquarius is low-key slowly becoming the sweethearts. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius, you might start to actually earn Valentine's Day in your season. That's how hard this change is about to go. So yeah, hopefully that gives you all some context into the vibe of what's going on in terms of this. So yeah, that's going to be that. Now let me see for the next bit. I think just want to double check and appreciate you all for being here, sticking with me, staying here. I really do just appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Despite what you're doing, my ears ringing right now. Oh, I just, you know what I'm saying? It's just much love for real. Okay. All right. So I have this new moon or North Node of Pisces mini reading. I'm looking at this now, right? Yeah, no, I'm gonna pull them right now. Okay. Let me hop in for this. I meant to do it a different way, but that's okay. So let's get into this. Appreciate y'all for being here, showing up, showing love. Y'all still gonna get to read for this. So let's see what's going on with the North Node and Pisces. We manifest and mirror not only the reflection. Go off, long T. Let's get it. And this is for you. You came through first. You have the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, and a stellium in Pisces. What's happening? I don't know, but let's get into it. What's going on with the moon? Hell on wheels. Let's explain. Let's figure this out. So I'm going to pull this more on like an overarching part. And how do we utilize, or why are the moves happening? How can we utilize the moves? What's going on? I'm going to pull like a few just to kind of see the storyline of what that looks like. All right. So underneath, and I keep getting the six of, you said I kept getting the aces. I also kept getting the Six of Cups. What? When's the last time you've like watched something that you just like really enjoyed? Maybe it's something of old. Like there's this like, I think with so much change, there is this need to go back to the basics, go back to the start. Like maybe you find an old antique TV and you just get it just to get it. Or like there's like certain things that I feel like are gonna really bring in a lot of joy is the best way for me to put it, right? The other side to this, I'm dropping stuff. Other side of this, we have the Three of Pentacles. I think this North Node on Pisces is really like bringing up an invitation for you to start working with more people. And I think part of you being like, why do I feel like so angsty or whatever is because like I think what it really is that there is this need for a community that's coming up in the North Node and Pisces, whether that be just like people you hang out with for like a couple days out the week. I've been watching old shows. This is a good start because why? You have to get to the feeling that those shows used to give you. Because in exploring that feeling of what that show used to give you, it's going to start to show you like, this was actually so impactful to my life. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, in my world, like I know how much SpongeBob as a show, like helped make me funny just from me watching it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's stuff like that. And I think that as you start to like develop this might actually, you need community, bird. But I think in you starting to like meet this community, you might be like, hey, by the way, I was watching these old Western shows, and someone else there is going to be like, I love old Western shows, and that's going to be some place to get you a little bit more involved. The reason why I'm saying that is because we have the Queen of Swords here. So as you start to like, you're finding stuff now subconsciously that's going to give you the taste that people are going to appreciate when you do start to step more into community. So like, there's an event, if there's something that's getting set up, I really do recommend that you just go there just to like head out there and be around, because when you start talking, people are going to be like, ah, she's a hoot. Like, this is great. We love her. This is awesome. Like, you're going to be given real information. And yes, you've been watching Ghost Hunters. You're going to be telling them the stories of what you saw. And like, some people like it a lot. Some people will be like, oh, that's scary, but whatever. It doesn't matter. You're in your Queen of Swords era. You're going to just tell them what you're into and what you like and what you enjoy. And that's the power of it. Now, the other side of this end is that once you are, let's say, involved in, I think it is a community to give you some context. But when that does happen, I think what's happening is that you're not, oh, I am lots of events. Well, guess what? They're going to try to make you an event manager or a coordinator. Like, there is something that's happening and they give you some context to where like, and it's not bad work. It's not like work to where you're stressed, but like they might give you a position. Hey, we need you to be a liaison. Can you like pass out the pamphlets? It's like a thing like, oops, I don't know what I just did. What's happening? Okay, I'm back. But this is the idea of like what's happening in terms of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, lots of woo-woo. Bring the woo-woo, because they're going to be like, hey, we like you. And also spend more time here. Help develop this with us. Something to keep in mind. Hope that really does come through. But that's what I'm getting for you for this North Node of Pisces for real. So that's dope. I'm going to fulfill this order. And I appreciate you for being here. Okay. Excuse me. All right. This is for long T. Let's get it. So this is how do you empower? I'm just looking up. I initially had these. Usually when I do, I didn't set it up the right way. Usually when I do these type of readings, I typically ask for the birth chart reading stuff. So I appreciate you sending that just so I can use that as reference for where that is. I forgot to ask. That's on me. But and I've been working with you forever, so I knew where to hop in for that. But let me see real quick. Boom. Seattle, Washington. Okay. Boom. 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 Blah. All right. So I'm looking at, this is for long T, right? So I'm looking right now at your North Node, and you have your North Node in Gemini. So what's up, Christina? How you living? So you have the North Node in Gemini, right? So the idea of the concept of this going on for you in general, there's a square between those two things. I was trying to explain a square between Gemini and Pisces yesterday, and the best way to put it is that like it's the tale of the person who can, it's like the storyteller rendition where it's like people could tell you a story where it's all soaked in truth and it's real and like, oh, we know stuff and we're moving forward. And people could also fabricate a story, right? There's this in between part of you really deciphering what's a fabricated story and what's a real fact, and that's a huge part of this North Node shift coming up for you, Long T. Just to let you know in that process. But I will be pulling cards for the rest of this. But I wanted to give you this premise that is going to be what the nodes are kind of like trying to show you in terms of that. All right, let's get it. 3 cards, ain't bad. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so Long, we have the World card. The World. Anyway, we do have the World card, right? In the World card is, well, a new world is forming, and it's a world of your design. The reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people talk and they're like, you know, we all live in the same world. Actually, we live in the same planet, but there's different worlds on every planet, is there not? And here's where I want to kind of explain this to you. The World card for you in this North Node Gemini is showing you that, like, yo, life really different. How can you empower your natural aspects of your chart with the Sun in Cancer and Libra rising? I think one of the things to kind of like really bridge in terms of this, right, is like you gonna have to pick up the first part of things. I think ironically, with the energetics that you have so far, you're really good at like working together with other people. But I think the first stint of what's going on with you with this North Node of Pisces, you're gonna have to pick up things on your own. And that's not to like, I'm gonna give you the example where it's like, I remember when I first started like really doing astrology for real, and I was like, well, I have to be the person that knows the camera stuff, and I have to speak on it, and I have to buy the right things, and I have to blah blah blah. And it was like a lot of work and leeway. But now as a person, when someone's like, hey, this thing is wrong, I can know how to fix it because I've had to work every aspects, or I have to work every job within that thing. So something similar like that's happening for you to really embellish in that new world that's opening. And then guess what? As soon as you learn everything, you get into the Knight of Wands. As soon as you learn everything, you're just like, oh, well, now that I know everything and I know how to do this, now I get to like be a little bit more leisurely. Maybe I showed up to work a little late, but who's gonna say anything? I'm the best one here. Like the Knight of Wands is like energetic, where he's following his passion, he's following what he enjoys, he's following what like what's going on, and just seems to be cool over there. That's one thing that I also want to kind of point out with this King of Wands rendition. I'm sorry, this Knight of Wands rendition is that like you're also going to be like moving things forward. Now, again, you have to learn a lot first. You're going to have to take the first brunt of that. But afterward, we have the Hermit card. So I want to say this North Node in Pisces is making you like learn to work real time, really like do all that extra part. And then next thing you know, the Hermit card after this, the Hermit card is one of those situations to where you start to you become the de facto person. You know what I'm saying? Like you become the person they look to for that information. It's like all the stuff that you're absorbing, you then become the person. Like you can kind of, it's like you know how in jobs and positions you get into a higher position and then there's less work to be done on a day-to-day. That's kind of what's happening with you. To where it's like, oh, they did all this work and it's 7:30. Now we need someone to step up. Oh, that's them. Now you did step up, but now they're asking you. You're the keeper of the wisdom. Hey, where do they leave the keys here? Hey, like what's going on with that? Like that's the kind of thing. So yes, there is a new world that's coming through. Explains a lot about what you're hearing about recently. We'll work on it. Dope, because that's really what I'm getting from that, and I want to just be transparent. And the Hermit also, it's a South Node of Virgo. Just to give you some context. So it's not all bad, and I think that's going to be you really like utilizing the truth of those situations to keep pushing this forward. But that's what I got for you. Hope that helped, and thank you for pulling up. Yeah, I almost accidentally ended the broadcast like it was a mini reading. I'm tripping. Okay, like when I do mini readings for people, I like press the same button to stop stuff. Like when I send them to them later on, but like I almost pressed it by accident. I would have just ended the whole thing. So I'm glad I didn't do that because we still have Dion. Dion, this is for you. All right. Dion, Gemini, Sun, Moon. And I'm doing the other mini reading that I had to do for the new moon in Aquarius instead. My fault. I'm talking to myself. Okay. This is going to be for you, Dion. Hi, Dion. Let's see what's up. I think I still have your chart actually somewhere. I try to save them because people usually ask me stuff later. So I try to keep them. Did I keep it last time? No, I think I was moving too fast. That's okay. We're just getting into what we have right now. So, Dion, North Node, and Pisces. Let's see what's pulling through for you. Bet. Oh, guess what? You have the Fool card. And I don't know how familiarized with the Fool card, but this is like getting the Joker in a playing card game. Like you won. Congratulations. You're doing great, right? Oh, I love this pull. Okay, let me explain this for you, Dion. So the first thing that I got being the Fool card, Fool represents a new journey. Where the World card that I pulled earlier represents like a completion and like turning the world into something new. The Fool card is like F the old world I was just in. I'm finna just vibe. Honestly, that's really what it is. The Fool card is like so open to just seeing what life is. And guess what? As that happens, life about to change, man. Like the craziest part, I'm just do this. I don't know why I felt drawn to do that, but the craziest part about the actual like 8 of Wands in this position, I really don't know why I did that. But like the idea though. New journey. Yes, it's a new journey. It's a new adventure, but everything's happening really fast. It's gonna like pile on super fast. Like you're like, by the time you turn around, like a month or two, like from now, same deal. You'll be like, oh my God, I've accomplished so much. But how did this all happen? Why? Because we have the Ace of Cups too. So this is the emotive world. that you're also like activating. Like a big portion to this whole North Node of Pisces is that like you're finding your heart again, but not just your heart of hearts. I don't know if you ever watched like Yu-Gi-Oh or anything, but that I heard literally the homie be like, believe in the heart of the cards, because like that's kind of the vibe that I'm like kind of like going through. Like you got to believe in your own heart and step up for that. You know what I'm saying? That's really the power that I'm seeing with that. You know what I'm saying? And afterward, we have the Page of Wands, where it's like you're not trying to take authority on all the ideas, but this is like setting the groundwork for you to like. This almost reads to me like a freelance situation or a consulting situation. It's kind of like, yo, I got so I went off so hard on my own stuff that now a big company wants me to like to plug what I do in their ear type deal. I don't know how accurate that is, but I have just started following my intuition on those things. That might be an analogy perhaps, but it's one of those things to where like in that big change of the fool's journey, your stock goes up in a way where people are asking for your opinions, your thoughts, and what's your taste on this thing. And that's where I think things are going to start to get really interesting for you. And I hope this is all resonant. But yes, this is a brand new journey. Keep up what you are doing because it seems as though it is working really well. Good work. But yeah. Long said not to just got back from the front line. Spent 8 months out there, so it changes you. Facts. I feel you. Okay. I think that is if I'm being real. Oh, I've been on for like an hour and a half. We chilling. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for showing up. Let me double check to make sure no one purchased a mini reading last second and I missed it. And if you haven't gotten a mini reading yet, feel free to come through later for one. They'll be open for the next bit, at least up until I do the new moon in Aquarius. But I'm trying to have it so there's always a mini reading available, just in case people just need a quick insight as well. So I'm gonna try to set it up this way. I have a lot of work to do before Aries season on all this, but that's what it is, you know. But aside from that, for real, thank y'all for showing up. It's been so cool to just do this, and I have nothing else but love to pour back into y'all. It's been 6 years of making this rock. This is the year that YouTube really start paying me, and YouTube really start seeing what I have to offer. So I'm prepping it. I'm working on it. I am working on some other secret projects, things that you will probably appreciate in the upcoming future. So mysterious, but just, appreciate it. Thank y'all. I'm gonna head out. Do your best this North Node and Pisces and beyond. You got this. I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go take a nap. Love y'all. Stay up. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. Okay, bye.